Breaking. Trump crushes China and slashes drug prices. What just happened? China officially caved to the pressure of Trump's tariffs. Yep, you heard that right. The economic powerhouse blinked first. And as if that wasn't big enough, President Trump just signed a massive executive order slashing prescription drug prices for Americans. We've got two game-changing headlines in one video. So buckle up, grab that popcorn, and don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more updates that leave the media speechless. But before we unpack the diplomatic drama with China, let's talk about something that hits home for every American: the cost of prescription drugs. Trump's new executive order isn't just political theater. It's a direct hit to Big Pharma's profit machine. Now, critics are scrambling to figure out how to stay mad about Americans paying less for life-saving medications. Spoiler alert, they're struggling. Trump made it clear. This isn't about price control, at least not in the way critics claim. In fact, he argues the real price control was the old system, the one where foreign governments dictated what they'd pay, and drug companies made up for the difference by charging Americans insane prices. Who enabled that system? According to Trump, the Democrats were the proud guardians of that pharmaceutical fortress. And now, as negotiations heat up for what he calls one great, big, beautiful deal, Democrats face a political Rubik's Cube. Support Trump's bill and lower drug prices, or oppose it and explain to voters why they stood against cheaper medication. And we're not talking pennies here. We're talking 60%, 70%, even 80% reductions in drug prices. Imagine explaining to your constituents why you voted against that. Trump, never one to miss an opportunity to stir the pot, predicted Democrats would be forced to vote in favor, even if their party leaders begged them not to. I don't see how they can vote against it, he said with a grin. Drugs and pharmaceuticals are going to be down 70, 80%. Translation: Trump's got the Democrats in a political chokehold, and the countdown has started. Now let's talk facts. America's been paying top dollar for the same pills sold at a fraction of the cost overseas. You probably heard stories, and Trump has a hilarious one of his own. He told the tale of a very wealthy, highly neurotic, slightly overweight business tycoon buddy. You know him, Trump said, who takes that trendy fat shot drug. The guy called Trump from London, furious after just paying $88 for the same drug that cost him $1,300 in New York. What the hell is going on, he asked. That's not a conspiracy. That's just Big Pharma 101. The same drug companies raking in billions in the U.S. use tax loopholes to shelter their cash overseas, then hit the American consumer with sky-high prices. Now Trump's calling their bluff, forcing them to play fair or get out of the game. So, what's in this executive order? It essentially pressures drug companies to charge other countries more, bringing our prices down and ending the era where American patients foot the global bill. Europe, Canada, it's time to pay your share. This move is so bold, so undeniably pro-American, it's practically a dare. Will the Trump haters oppose it just because it's got his signature on it? Spoiler, probably. But whether you love him or loathe him, this might just be one of the most consumer-friendly moves from any president in recent memory. And if the Democrats fight it, well, they got some serious explaining to do. All right, folks, strap in because this one's wild. While the Chinese Communist Party wants you to believe they're running some ultra-sleek, futuristic, unbeatable society, one that's just totally not America's enemy, but somehow ready to replace the U.S. as the world's #1 superpower, behind that shiny curtain. Yeah, it's crumbling. China's so thriving right now that, wait for it, their government has actually stopped reporting public statistics. Because when the numbers don't look good, you just erase them from reality, right? Problem solved. Totally normal behavior from a global superpower. Take youth unemployment, for example. It got so bad, China just pulled the plug on publishing the numbers. Poof, gone. Can't have a crisis if you delete the evidence, right? But that's just scratching the surface. According to the Wall Street Journal, we're talking hundreds of vanished stats. It's like a digital purge of bad news, and it's leaving the world blind to what's really going down inside the Great Wall. And while Xi Jinping is out here flexing like he's got the upper hand, the truth is China still heavily relies on cranking out cheap products and shipping them to, you guessed it, the good old USA. But here's the kicker. When the U.S. stops buying, their entire assembly line grinds to a halt. Prices go up, production collapses, and suddenly, all those trading buddies who also sell to America, yeah, they're not ordering from China anymore either. Their whole economy, built on manufacturing, starts shaking like a noodle in a thunderstorm. And if things weren't bad enough already, Trump's tariffs came in like gasoline on an already burning house. That's why his administration's big move was to decouple the U.S. from China's grip and slash the trade deficit, basically letting American businesses thrive without being handcuffed to Beijing's factories. And guess what? It's working. Even CNBC is reporting that China is on the brink of a worker revolt. Factories are going dark. Protests are flaring up. Employees are demanding months of unpaid wages. Thousands of businesses have shut down and factory activity? Down. PMI? Down. Hope? Well, you get the idea. But here's the twist. These factories aren't closing outright. Nope. They're going into what's called hibernation. Basically, they're saying, we're just taking a nap indefinitely. Workers are being paid around $350 a month. Basically poverty wages, to sit around and wait for Santa to order Christmas toys from China again. And all this economic pain, it's what forced China back to the negotiating table. No more pretending they don't need the U.S. This is survival mode. This is what President Trump understood from the jump. Apply maximum pressure while they're wobbling and don't let up. Or, as the saying goes, if you see your competitor drowning, walk over and stick a hose down his throat. Now, the Democrats hate this approach. It's not polite. It's not diplomatic. Well, no, Karen, it's a knife fight in the mud, and Donald Trump fights to win. And for the cherry on the spin cake, what could Trump possibly trade for that plane that would be so dangerous for Americans? Oh no, better trade ties with a rich oil-producing nation that might invest trillions in America and boost jobs. Yeah, how dreadful. Let's face it, the real outrage here isn't about jets, tariffs, or unemployment stats. It's that Trump's strategy is working, and that drives the left crazy. If this breakdown lit a fire under you, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the truth bomb drops. Comment below, what's your take on China's data blackout, factory hibernation, and that shiny new plane? I'll be reading. Which brings us to the cherry on top. Let's talk about the $400 million luxury jet the U.S. was given, and cue the manufactured media meltdown. Reporter, Mr. President, what do you say to people who see this jet as a personal gift? Trump, you're ABC fake news, right? You should be embarrassed to even ask that. He goes on to explain, it's not a personal gift. It's for the Department of Defense. And then, in true Trump fashion, he drops a golf analogy that honestly deserves an Oscar. Trump voice, Sam Snead had a motto. When they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. Pick up your ball and walk to the next hole. A simple concept, really, but apparently too complex for mainstream media. The media try to spin this into some scandal, ignoring the fact that Trump's just doing what any rational leader would, saving taxpayer money. Boeing dragged his feet on the new Air Force One, tried to jack up the price, and Trump said, nah, I'll take this other plane. It's faster, cheaper, and I'll have it converted. Problem solved. No corruption. No scandal. Just smart business.